dark haze. Ladies of the night with eyes of red, vampires in the alleys where good men dread, wolfmen howling beneath the pale moon. But justice is coming and coming soon. From saloons to graveyards where evil sleeps, they walk among us, secrets they keep, nightmare hunters with souls ablaze, cleaning up this town through the dark haze. Cryptids themselves, yet they stand tall against the darkness, answering the call for every lost soul, every whispered prayer. They fight for the light in the midnight air. From saloons to graveyards where evil sleeps, they walk among us, secrets they keep, nightmare hunters with souls ablaze, cleaning up this town through the dark haze. The night is young, the hunt begins. For against the darkness where hope never ends.
In the shadows of forgotten lore, where legends leave footprints and nightmares are written in blood. He's the voice of modern horror, the best-selling author and cryptid researcher, the name behind the nightmare. D.A. Roberts. Joining him in the field, renowned author and field investigator, the man who tracks what others fear to name. The cryptid hunter, the cast master, the one they call Robbie Jed Rains. And the voice of reason in the madness, the analyst, the investigator, the one who sees through the fog. Carrie Doc Davis. Together, they walk the edge of legend and reality. This is the Nightmare Hunter Podcast.
Good evening, folks, and thank you all for joining us on another edition of the Nightmare Hunters Podcast. In the studio with me tonight is my co-host and brother from another mother, Robbie Jed Rains. And we both got some pretty happy news for you folks. Robbie, why don't you go first and tell them yours?
Yeah, well, I just kind of not even really thinking about it, checking stuff as we do in our stuff, and lo and behold, Kodiak is number one in the category that I put it in. So I finally actually hit number one. So
which is damned awesome, brother. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Travis, for sponsoring the channel. Well,
So
we got a pretty full house already tonight, brother. And congratulations on hitting number one. That's dude, that's huge. That is freaking awesome. So right now, in different categories, Robbie and I both have number one new releases. That's kind of my news too. But I'm proud of this fella right here. He's come a long way in a very short amount of time, and I think he's just going to keep knocking him out of the park from here on out. But folks, we're going to have a great show for you guys tonight. We're going to be talking about a subject that I know Robbie's dug into quite a bit, probably even more than I have, and that's the Jersey Devil. The Jersey Devil has always been one of those subjects I found kind of fascinating because, much like Robbie's pointed out in the past, I've always thought, well, New Jersey, how could there be something like that up there? But Robbie, how big is the Pine Barrens?
Pine Barrens themselves are over 1 million acres.
And that's just the Pine Barrens, not counting other wildlands, wetlands, and other places.
Yep. It shocked me, and I've said it on the show before, it shocked me beyond belief that there was that much land, wild land in New Jersey. Because we talked about it before. You think about New Jersey, you think about the city, the turnpike, the Jersey Shore, and things like that. You don't think
Atlantic City.
Yeah, Atlantic City. You just don't think about that much wild, untouched land being in New Jersey. And sure enough, it is. When Johnny and I was doing research for the show we did on it, we were both just like, there's 1 million acres in the Pine Barrens. Honestly, I was expecting it to be, 50 to 100,000 acres, realistically. And it was 1 million. I was like, okay, I was off by a little bit.
That's a lot of land.
Yeah.
That you could get lost in that real easy, and people do.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's all kinds of people go missing up there, and there's all kinds of weird, strange stuff that goes on in that place too.
And not just weird stuff related to the Jersey Devil. They've also got a cryptid up there they call the Mantis Man, which is a pretty interesting one as well. But we won't be talking about that much tonight. I just highlight it to point out that there are other legends there as well.
Good. And I don't want to talk about the Mantis Man. We'll stay away from that one.
That one does kind of freak me out a little bit. If there's like a giant praying mantis out there, I don't want to run into it.
Nah. Y'all keep that one.
Boondock Mojo says, I told somebody that Central Park is 1,000 acres and they didn't believe me.
Yeah. Well,
it doesn't surprise me.
We run into the Mantis Man. Noah won't need to be the Robbie Wrangler. I promise you.
Robbie beat us to the truck for once.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't like the ones that are that small, much less one that's the size of a man. You can have that.
I think the little ones are kind of cool. I like watching them kill other bugs.
Any bug that can do this and look at you and watch you, there's something not natural about that. Hate them things.
Well, do you want to start us out by giving us kind of the origin of it? Tell us a little bit about the Mother Leeds story.
Well, there's several different versions of it, but I guess the most popular one is the devil was the 13th child by Mother Leeds, and she had said that if I have another child, it'll be a child of the devil, and supposedly during, and there again, I may be mixing because there really is, there's like 4 or 5 different ones, but supposedly during childbirth, the midwife, when it came out, the midwife either died of a heart attack or it killed the midwife, and it had the head of a horse, hooves of a goat, wings of a bat, and it flew out up the chimney and flew out into the Pine Barrens. There's another version that's a little less popular, but that I dug into, that one that her husband was having an affair on her, and she tried to curse him, but the curse rebounded, and that's what caused the Jersey Devil to be born. There's way more actual legends about it than I would have thought there was. But the popular or the main one is that She said, if I have a 13th child, it'll be the son of the devil.
And legend has it that when it was born, it not only got up and ran around the room, it flew around the room and then flew up the chimney.
Yep. Flew out the chimney and flew out into the pine barrens.
You want to describe how it looked?
Well, most accounts say it had the head of a horse, or it looked like a horse head. It was an elongated, and that's how they describe it. I don't know that they actually said it was the head of a horse, but it looked like the head of a horse.
A horse-like head, yeah.
Horse-like head. The wings of a bat. I believe the hooves were goat hooves. Yeah, it was kind of an ugly-looking thing, from what I gather. And that, to this day, people describe seeing things that look like that. Things with the elongated snout and horse-like features, like DA said. So
now there is a species of bat that many people claim may be the Jersey Devil, or at least the origin of the story. But I've seen images of this bat, and while it is big and pretty creepy looking, from the descriptions of the Jersey Devil, to me it just doesn't make sense that that's what it is. It's not big enough. It's not got cloven hooves.
That's what I was about to say. Even though the head and the wing structure of that kind of fits some of the description, it doesn't, like you said, it doesn't have cloven hooves. It's not big enough. And it's not, it's the fox bat, Hillary. It's not considered aggressive towards people. I think it eats fruit, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of fact, I'll see if I can find a picture of it and send it to you so you can put it on the show.
I can do it while you're talking. Thank you, Abby, for subscribing to the channel. I can get the image.
You want to tell them about where we're at channel wise?
Yes. We are 3 away from 10K.
Be specific when you say fox bat, or you're going to get that airplane.
Yeah, the MiG-21.
Yeah, because that's all the pictures I got was the MiG-21 fox bat.
I've got to download the image real quick, and then I will bring it up. This is the bat that everybody seems to think, well, not everybody, but a lot of people seem to think it is. And when you look at it, it's pretty horrendous looking. I mean, you look at this thing and it's like, I'd hate to run into that thing in the woods. But at the same time, they're fairly docile. They don't really bother people.
And they do eat fruit.
I got to figure out how to. I got to find how to share this thing. So I'm still trying to get used to this different setup.
Yeah, setup's a little bit different on everything. So I can't even see how many people we got in the studio now, or in the show rather.
Right now it says 115.
Good.
But here's what they believe it to be. It's called the hammerhead bat. Well, what some people think, this hammerhead bat, which is actually native to like the Caribbean islands, and they believe it came in on boats that were bringing in like spices and rum, and because there was a small population of them in Jersey for a while, there may still be. But when you look at this thing and how docile it is, to me it doesn't really fit the bill if you if you listen to the lore. But that again, that's just my opinion. That's what I just don't believe that this is the culprit.
It's close.
What about you, Robbie?
In my opinion, I think it's close enough that people who want to bust the myth, so to speak, I think that it looks close enough, and there were documented. Yes, like Hillary pointed out, or like Boondock pointed out, I'm sorry, they are warm weather bats, but there were documented specimens in New Jersey. So I think that's just what some people that like to explain things away. Oh, well, that's what it was. That's what people were seeing. Well, yeah, there probably were some people that saw some of those, but it's not like they had a sustained population. There were documented cases of, probably a couple hundred, maybe, if it, that's a speculation on that number. But as far back as the sightings go, and as recent as some of the most recent sightings are, you can't use that to explain every single one of those sightings.
Exactly.
So I think some of the sightings probably were those, or a lot of people, like I said, the skeptics, that's what they were using as their answer to the legend or the cryptid, but it doesn't explain all of them. And it's just like, it's the same thing with every Bigfoot sightings, a black bear.
Right.
Black bear. It doesn't fit. And what about the Bigfoot sightings in areas where there aren't any black bears documented? So I mean, it just doesn't fit the whole narrative.
Yeah, so even if it was there was a population, they'd die the first winter. As Jersey winters are pretty cold, and those are tropical bats.
Yeah. She said what Hillary said.
What'd she say?
Regardless, bat or cryptid, I would crap pink Twinkies if one of those came after for me.
That's probably a magged up situation. More than that yeah. Kind of dump, but apparently.
Well, I said, have I read? I've got that one. I hadn't read it yet, but that's the continuation of the guy who did the same guy that did that one I told you about the Bigfoots that have rabies.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote another book about the devil hunters, where they're going after, supposedly, I guess, the Jersey Devil.
I know that author's name. I just can't think of it. I've talked to him before on Facebook.
Yeah, I can't remember. I'd have to go through my.
I want to say his last name is Brown, but I can't remember.
Miss Lene usually pops up when we start talking about that, because I think she knows. I think it's Miss Lene that knows his name, but it's pretty, because Gultieri, that's it. R. Gultieri or Gultier. But yeah, when me, you, and Doc were putting the show together about our first show that we did on CWD.
Well, the book was by Eric S. Brown, Bigfoot War.
No, it's not Bigfoot War.
Oh, okay. So I'm thinking of somebody else entirely.
Yeah,
Eric S. Brown wrote the Bigfoot War series.
Yeah, it's not Bigfoot War. It's like Bigfoot Hunter or it's something. But anyway, basically, that story is this group is hunting these Bigfoot that have contracted rabies, because we actually talked about that when we did our very first show on CWD.
That's right. I remember that now. That's been a minute.
Yeah, Nick, I think pretty much all his books are titled Hunter, like Bigfoot Hunter, Devil Hunter, Boar Hunter. It's all, and it's...
There was a Bigfoot book I read a long time ago. I believe it was called Shadow Hunter.
I could say that sounds familiar, but I know why that sounds familiar.
Maybe it wasn't. No, I think it was Shadow Killer. The Shadow Killer by Matthew Scott Hansen. Yeah, that was a pretty good book. A little unrealistic on the firearms, but hey, can't have everything.
Yeah. Sometimes you can be too realistic.
It was an interesting story, a little graphic for some folks. Just warning you, if you're going to look that book up, it's a little graphic in more ways than one, and I'll just leave it at that. But it was still an interesting read. So back to the Jersey Devil. One of the most famous sightings of it was by Napoleon Bonaparte's brother Joseph. Which to me, that one's just crazy. I mean, that someone that infamous, or I guess famous would be a better word, since he wasn't. It wasn't his brother, nor was he an emperor of France. But he, in 1812, Joseph Bonaparte, who had moved to New Jersey to get away from his brother's reputation, he lived in Bordentown, New Jersey, and this was again 1812. He was hunting alone when he saw a strange creature with hooves and wings. He claimed it had a horse-like head, bat wings, and glowing red eyes. Bonaparte became obsessed with the creature, reportedly returning to the area multiple times in search of it. His account helped to spread the legend across Europe.
That's pretty. I mean, like you said, he's not Napoleon, but I mean that's what. That's about as close as a credible, famous sighting as you can probably get.
Right, kind of a celebrity of the day.
Yeah.
Not long after that, in 1835, there's another incident known as the Devil Meets the Pine Rat. Again, this was in the Pine Barrens. A local trapper claimed to encounter a creature unlike any animal he'd ever seen before. He described it as a hybrid of a rat and a deer with wings and glowing eyes. He says it let out a wild scream, then vanished into the trees, and he spent several years trying to find it again.
Well, okay, I've got the actual complete of the
Bonaparte sighting?
no, the synopsis that it was.
Oh, okay. Go for it, dude.
It was 1735, deep in the New Jersey Pine Barrens, when Jane, Mother Leeds, discovered she was pregnant with her 13th child. Let this one be the devil, she allegedly cursed. While there were many versions of the Jersey Devil's lore, the most popular is this. When Leeds' 13th child was born, it grew wings, horns, hooves, and a tail. The monster flew up the chimney and out into the night. With Halloween upon us, we decided to take a closer look at the 13 most convincing Jersey Devil sightings and stories around. So I missed a few things, and I figured I probably, because it's, there's so many of them, they kind of start blending together. But yeah, that's the most popular one. Is she said, "Let it be the son of the devil," and supposedly that curse is what worked.
Well, if that didn't bite her in the ass, nothing did.
Let's see if I can. I'm gonna send you something. This is artist rendition. I'm gonna send it to the co-host chat.
Okay. I'll have to switch windows. Hold on a second.
I got to get to it anyway.
Oh, no problem. No problem at all, man.
There you go. It's in the co-host chat now.
Do you want me to show that image?
Yeah, that's just what. This is what it was. What that legend, that particular legend, was supposed to.
All right, let me see if I remember how to do this. Okay. Hang on a second. I did something wrong.
Well, I do have the Bonaparte one if you want me to read that while you're doing that.
Yeah, you can. I should have it in just a second, though.
Right,
Damn it. Oh, here we go.
Devil. One of the first reported Jersey Devil sightings was in 1812 when Joseph Bonaparte, Napoleon's older brother, claimed he saw the Jersey Devil while hunting near his Bordentown estate. Sightings occurred and the legend grew, fueled by animal attacks, strange footprints, and reports filled by eyewitnesses who supposedly encountered the beast. That's what everybody back then was saying it looked like.
So there's the image.
Yeah, that's an ugly critter.
Yeah, I can see the resemblance to that bat, but there's also a lot of differences too.
Yeah.
Ugh. Sorry, folks. I'm dying of thirst tonight. I've been drinking water all day, and I'm always thirsty, it seems like, today. Anywho, I was going to say something. apparently in 1909, there was what they called the outbreak. In 1909, a wave of sightings across the Delaware Valley caused mass panics. Schools closed, factories shut down, and police shot at a winged creature. Reports from police officers, trolley passengers, and entire towns of strange hoof prints and eerie cries echoing through the night. So there were dozens of witnesses that time. So when you get witnesses like that, I don't really get into the mass hysteria theories because I think that's you've got a big stretch of the imagination that it's far less likely to believe that thousands of people had the exact same audio and visual hallucination as it is that many people just saw it.
Well, here's one from the 1980s. In the late 80s, a group of friends went camping and riding dirt bikes in the Pine Barrens. While riding down a trail about 100 yards from the camp, the bikes all stalled. All of them stalled at once, apparently, which is weird in itself. One said it could have had to do with the terrain or the nearby power plant. However, as suddenly as the bikes quit running, the men heard a piercing, inhuman scream coming from the woods. When they returned to the camp, those who stayed behind said they also heard the screams. That evening, one of the men went into a local bar and told the bartender about the screams in the woods. The man informed the visitor that they had most likely had an encounter with the Jersey Devil. So there you got a bunch of them out riding dirt bikes and a bunch of them still in camp. All their bikes mysteriously stall at the same time. They hear a scream, go back to the camp. The ones that were there at the camp also heard the exact same scream that they did.
Sounds to me like there'd be some sort of almost supernatural element to it if it stalled all the bikes. But then again, they did claim it was witchcraft or if it was the son of the devil.
Yep.
Let's see. Dorothy said there's no way a woman could birth a four-legged thing like that. Well, most of the accounts say that the baby was normal for a few minutes and then suddenly changed. And again, these are 300-year-old accounts. So,
yep. Here's one from a forest ranger from 1993. In 93, Forest Ranger John Irwin was driving along the Malika River when he saw a strange creature blocking the road ahead of him. He said it was about 6 feet tall. With horns.
I'm sorry, you're going to read what Hillary said.
What?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Read what? Who?
Hillary.
I don't see anything. You have to put it up. It's probably already rolled past on the chat.
Okay.
That's funny.
Sorry. That just struck me funny.
Well, it's because it was. In 93, Forest Ranger John Irwin was driving along the Malika River when he saw a strange creature blocking the road ahead of him. He said it was about 6 feet tall, horns, and matted black fur. Two stared at each other for about several minutes before the creature turned and ran into the forest. So that's from 93.
Robbie, we broke 10K. We're at 10,001. Okay, well, we're not going to do the giveaways tonight, but we are going to do some giveaways. I want to get Doc on the show because he's got a giveaway he wants to do as well. But the next show we will be planning on doing the giveaways. Hopefully, because since this class that Doc just got home from was his last one for the year, so hopefully Doc can be with us on Wednesday night. We're going to be doing the giveaways then. But big fanfare, we just broke 10,000 subscribers. That is awesome, and thank you guys so much for making that possible. So we will be planning the giveaway show as soon as we can get Doc involved, but that is awesome. Thank you guys so much. Whew. Oh, Lord. That is so awesome. Hey, wait, sorry, brother. Go ahead.
I'd finish that one, but here's another one if you want me to read it. It's called 10 feet tall and stopping traffic. So you got the last one in 93. It said it was 6 feet tall. This one says 10 feet tall and stopping traffic. While traveling on Route 9 in Bayville, 3 cars were forced to slam on their brakes when, according to one witness, a 10-foot tall Jersey Devil figure with a long head and short, flat ears ran across the road. One witness reported that the creature emerged from the wooded area near a mini mall and galloped out in front of traffic, disappearing into the woods on the other side of the street. Maybe the beast had just gotten a devil of a deal at his favorite boutique.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Uh, devil of a deal. That's funny. Well, apparently in the 1840s and 1850s, there were a whole string of attacks on farms in the Pine Barrens. In Camden and Gloucester counties, farmers reported livestock mutilations and strange hoof prints. Chickens and sheep were found torn apart, and eerie cries echoed through the night. And that was all through the 1840s and 1850s when there were, numerous attacks on livestock.
Don said he sent you a video of a fleer of a Jersey Devil, supposedly.
Don, did you email it or? Because I'm not. I'll have to check my email if you sent it to me. So let me know where you sent it, Don. So I'm gonna have to hunt it up.
But yeah, there's a lot of story. And I've been trying to find it ever since, but I haven't been able to find it. So I'll just have to try to remember the story best I can. But there's a lot of houses around the outskirts of the Pine Barrens. You've heard me tell this story, DA.
Mm-hmm.
This older couple was home and it started to snow, and the guy heard something, and he goes and looks at his sliding glass door, and it was some kind of primal scream type thing that that we've talked about earlier. And I think he said he had seen shadows moving in the woods behind the house, but didn't really see anything clearly. So he just kind of went on about his business, and him and his wife are sitting in his house later after dark. They hear the scream again, and then they hear a sound up on their roof, like something heavy landed on the roof and was walking across the roof. So the next morning, and it already stopped snowing at this point. The next morning, he goes back out and kind of gets away from the house and looks back up, and he sees a set of two, like something was walking on two legs. But the way he described it looked like horse hooves, like hoof prints of a horse walking up across his to the ridge of the house, and then over on the other side. So he goes around the other side of the house and looks and sees where it walked down to the other corner and stopped. Well, starts looking around. He doesn't see anything in the snow, and he goes about, I want to say 30 or 40 yards out towards the edge of the forest again, and he finds another set of tracks kind of leading into the forest. So whatever he was hearing apparently flew in, landed on his house, walked over his house, and then flew to the edge of the forest and walked back into the forest.
I've got that video queued if you want to see it.
Yeah, let's see it.
This is a YouTube video of an alleged thermal of a Bigfoot. Not Bigfoot, of a Jersey Devil. Granted, it's only about 9 seconds long. But let me bring this up. You can see the light colored spot. Watch it as this video plays. Apparently this was taken in the Pine Barrens.
Oh, like a giraffe with wings. Did you see how long that neck was?
Yeah. I had to get that shut down before that next video started. I was trying to get that desperately stopped. Let me bring that back up. I'm going to set it to repeat if I can. Hold on. I'm not sure it's going to let me. Okay. All right, let me bring it back up again. Sorry about that. I was having some issues getting that to play correctly. Okay. I'm going to slow the speed down too. Let's go to 1/4 playback speed. And again, watch this section. Watch this section right here. It looks like a winged deer almost.
Yeah.
Well, whatever the heck it is, it's a pretty good thermal.
Yeah, it's weird.
Don, it was pretty good. I mean, for as thermals go, you could tell it's something with a head like a horse or a deer, and it definitely looks like it's got wings.
Jeffro says unicorn.
Puff the Magic Dragon. Yeah, God knows what that is, but it was allegedly taken in New Jersey in the Pine Barrens, and it's clearly a thermal of something with an odd-shaped head and wings. Back in 1972, there's an area near the Pine Barrens called the Atco Dragway. That's where kids would go race cars, and we had drag races there. It's in Atco, New Jersey. And apparently in 1972, a group of teenagers at the drag racing strip heard an unearthly scream and saw a winged creature fly overhead. One of them claimed it landed briefly and then took off into the woods. Still there, Robbie?
Yeah, I was just
You got real quiet.
I was looking at comments.
Oh, okay. And also, in the early 1800s, there was a military commodore named Stephen Decatur who had an encounter. Navy Commodore. In the early 1800s, it was near the Hanover Iron Works in the Pine Barrens. Decatur, a naval hero, was testing cannonballs when he saw a strange winged creature flying overhead. He ordered a cannon fired directly at it. The projectile struck the creature, but it flew away seemingly unharmed. The sightings added military credibility to the legend and tied the devil to the industrial heart of the Pine Barrens.
But can we talk about how good of a shot that must have been to hit that
with
thing
a cannon? Hit something in the air with a cannon.
Because cannons are not
super accurate.
Yeah, they weren't accuracy based weapons. They were for
area of effect.
Yeah, area of effect.
Maybe they hit it with like grape shot instead of. That would be much easier to believe than hit it with a cannonball.
Yeah, still though.
Yeah, with grape shot, it's like a giant shotgun. You just blast an area. But yeah, for them to hit that with a cannon in the air in early 1800s, yeah, targeting was not good back then. It was like, let's line it up, go by eyeball, and take a shot.
That would be the epitome of swag.
Yes. Yeah, that one would be. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's harder to believe that he hit it with a cannon than that he saw it. But then again, he was a Commodore. Maybe he was a good shot.
Maybe.
Yeah. Boondock says, DA sent the photo. I've been having trouble sending photos through email, so let me know if it comes through. All right, I'll have to check here in a few minutes. And also in 1927, in Salem City, New Jersey, a cab driver, his car broke down late one night. And as he inspected the engine, he heard a scream and saw a winged creature pounding on the roof of his cab. He fled on foot, abandoning the vehicle. Locals later found hoof prints around the cab. The incident was widely discussed in the local newspapers and added to the devil's reputation for targeting lone travelers. I don't know about you, brother, but to me it seems like there's a lot of credible sightings of this.
Yeah, I kind of deduced that when I was doing my research for my show that I did about it. I mean, and this is what's so funny about it. It seems like people are more apt to believe something like that's got a supernatural legend behind it and think than they are to believe that Bigfoot's real. And there's been tons of Bigfoot sightings in the Five Barrens as well.
Sorry, man. Hold on a second. I was sending a message. It's asking the mods to help me keep an eye on the time because at 5 minutes till we've got to stop for a commercial break. And now that we're on UnX, I've got to make sure we're doing that.
We'll keep talking because I got to send
Okay.
link for the show.
Boondock says it probably happened like Randy Johnson hitting that bird with the cannon shot. Yeah, 1 in a million. Yeah, no kidding. Lone Queen says that would make you wonder if those kids in the truck were potential targets. Yeah, an animal that big's got to be eating something. Well, everything eats, but an animal that particularly big is going to have to eat something of substantial size. And we've got lots of stories of them attacking livestock, so it's not a big stretch of the imagination to think that they wouldn't come after a person, especially a person out by themselves. Lene says, "Da, do you have the story of JD getting into a basement while kids were home alone?" I don't know if we've got that one. Yeah, I'll have to keep looking. We've got a whole bunch of them lined up to talk about. One in particular, a place called Mays Landing, New Jersey. This was in 1960. The Mays Landing Screams is what they refer to it as. Residents of Mays Landing, New Jersey, reported hearing horrifying screams echoing through the woods around the town. The police tried to calm people's fears by posting flyers to claim the Jersey Devil was just a hoax. But a circus owner that was passing through the area offered a $100,000 reward for the creature's capture, reigniting public interest and speculation. So, this incident, people hearing it scream in the woods, this guy that owned a private owner of a circus was putting big money up. I guess he wanted it for his circus. $100,000 was a hell of a lot of money in 1960. It'd be like putting up $1 million today or more.
Yeah, that was a lot of money for something back then. But there again, that goes like what we talked about. People just accepted things back then more than they do now.
Yeah. I'm going to look something up real quick. In today's currency, $100,000 in 1960 in today's currency would be worth $1,094,513.51.
So almost $2 million.
Well, no, not 900,000, 90,000, 91,000.
Oh, I thought 900,000.
1,091,000. Now, still like almost 1.1 million.
Yeah. $1 million
inflation.
I know what they said, and oh brother, we're out there. $1 million point one.
Yeah.
Can you send a link to Doc? I don't know if he can get to the co-host chat from where he's at. He's trying to get on.
Oh, okay. It's in the.
I told him it was in the co-host chat. But...
Okay, I'm gonna tell him I'm gonna email it. You give me a minute.
Yep. He said he didn't know that, so let him see if he can get it first.
Oh, okay. It's in the co-host chat then. So Doc might be joining us. Hell yeah. Toshi, yeah, it's still a lot of money. I wouldn't turn my nose up at 100,000 today, let alone over $1 million. Well, here's one from 1993. Wharton State Forest encounter. In the summer of 1993, in Wharton State Forest in New Jersey, a group of campers heard heavy footsteps circling their tents, followed by a piercing scream. Eyewitnesses say that one camper claimed to see glowing red eyes and a shadowy winged form just beyond the firelight. The group fled the site and reported the incident to park rangers, who found no evidence but noted the campers seemed to be genuinely in terror.
I only know of one movie that they've ever put out about it. Did you see that movie with Lou Diamond Phillips? It's called Jersey Devil.
I think I have. It's been a while.
Not that it was a great movie or anything, but that's the only one I can think of that has anything to do
Well,
with
it. Lou Diamond Phillips has done some stinkers, like Route 666.
Yeah.
That was a turd if there ever was one.
Yeah, he's one of those. He's got some really good movies and he's got some really bad ones too.
Loved him in Longmire. Loved him in Young Guns. Route 666, not so much.
Pretty good in The First Power too. I like that one. That was good.
He is a good actor. I mean, I will definitely give him the props there. But he has. Well, there's a lot of actors who've done some real stinkers over the years. Does he need me to email that to him? I'm going to go ahead and pull it and email it to him regardless.
Send it to the Yahoo.
Tell him I'm sending it to Jump Medic. I'm sending it to the Gmail one. Because I apparently don't have the Yahoo one.
It's the Jump Medic one at yahoo.com.
Okay. Alrighty then. Okay. It's on its way. There we go. Sent. So fingers crossed. Hopefully Doc can get in. There's another more recent one in Galloway. There's a Galloway here in Missouri, but Galloway Township, New Jersey, October of 2015. A local resident saw a winged creature flying between the trees. Witness described it as having bat-like wings, a goat's head, and a long tail. An artist painted the creature based on the description, which went viral online and reignited debate over the devil's existence. So that one's actually fairly recent. They featured a thing on it on. Do you remember? What was that show with Robert Stack?
Unsolved Mysteries.
Unsolved Mysteries. They did a thing on the Jersey Devil on Unsolved Mysteries too.
Really? Oh, if I remember that or not.
I'm pretty sure I remember that episode, but maybe I don't know. Maybe I just pulled that out of my butt. I don't know, but it seems like I remember Robert Stack narrating a thing about the Jersey Devil, and he's been gone a hot minute.
Yep. We got about 5 minutes before 55.
I saw that. I'm trying to keep an eye on it. We got a couple minutes. I was hoping Doc would be here before we went to commercial.
He had forgot we've backed up. So he's not. He's trying to make the next one. He just sent me.
No worries. I mean, he could still jump in. I don't mind.
No, they're at his granddaughter's basketball game. So
okay.
He forgot we were going back an hour. So he was thinking we were still on the normal time. So.
Okay. All right. No worries then. We're good. Going back to the Commodore Decatur one. I'm still trying to wrap my brain about them around them being able to hit it with a cannonball from an 1800s cannon. I mean, look how terribly inaccurate cannons were in the Civil War. Those were an area of effect weapon. You didn't target like one person, and generally, if you were going to target like an emplacement, you walked fire to them.
Well, but still, there probably wasn't one cannon. So maybe when he said fire, it wasn't one cannon that was firing. Maybe it was
maybe a whole gun line opened fire and one of them got lucky.
Yeah, I could see that more so than just loading up one cannon and fire.
I guess that makes sense. It probably would have been the whole gun line, because I doubt that he was out there practicing loading new cannonballs with a single cannon. So, have you heard of any more recent encounters, like within the last few years?
Oh, hang on. I think I had that pulled up. Let me see if I can pull it right back up. All right, there are no confirmed sightings in 2025. Let's see.
Well, I think that thermal video is, within the last couple of years. Thank you, Miss Lene.
Let me refine. Let me refine my search and say recent or most.
Got
recent.
2 minutes. We got 2 minutes till commercials. Trying to get everything prepped. It would be much easier if Race was here, but he's busy tonight.
Oh, we're still working on it. 2015, apparently, according to this, was the most recent sighting. So that
was contemporary with that one I just read.
Galloway Township. Was that?
Yep, that's the one. That's the one.
But still, that's only what, 10 years old.
10 years ago.
That doesn't mean that there hadn't been. That just means that people hadn't come forward and said anything.
That's true.
Because I'm sure, much like Bigfoot, if you've sighted the Jersey Devil, you don't want to just run out and tell everybody because you're going to be labeled a crackpot.
Tom Brown Jr.'s tracking school was in the Pine Barrens. I wonder if he ever had a Jersey Devil sighting.
You know what? I bet you he probably did. Because he never out and out said that he believed in Bigfoot, but just the way a lot of his books were written, there are things out there that you need to be careful of.
It's been a while since I've read one of his books. I need to get them all out again. I think I still have a copy of all of them. All right, well, we are coming up at the 5 minute till the top of the hour. So we're getting ready to take a pause for the cause, and we'll hear from our sponsors. So give us just a minute while we run through these, and we will be right back, folks. If you all need a top off of your favorite beverage, now's a good time.
The Unchanged Network presents a health and wellness spiritually based brand of hemp-derived CBD products made by Hopewell Farm in Harrogate, Tennessee. We apply our Cathara energy work with all of our plants and products. Our products made in small batches with only 2 ingredients of pure hemp, full-spectrum crude oil, and coconut-derived MCT oil. Third-party lab tested for potency and legal THC levels with 6 strengths of 1 ounce oil to choose from. Know what you're buying and get what you pay for from Hopewell Farm. Applied directly to a specific area, Hopewell Farm topical salve in 1 ounce and ½ ounce sizes made with pure hemp crude oil, comfrey extract, and all natural ingredients. Find the Hopewell Farm link and coupon code on the Unchanged Network website at unchangednetwork.com. That's unchangednetwork.com. new book, How to Research a Haunted House by paranormal investigator Margie Kay and professional researcher Violet Wisdom, is now available from Unx Media. This one-of-a-kind book explains how to do research on a house with uncommon methods and resources used by historic home researchers, and how to determine who may be doing the haunting and why. How to Research a Haunted House can be used by homeowners, renters, investors, and it should be in the library of all professional paranormal investigators. Get this unique book at unxmedia.com or amazon.com. That's unxmedia.com or amazon.com.
And just like that, we're back. So, you pull any others up while we're taking a little break for the to pay the bills?
No, I just said that the 2015 was the most recent, but I can pull up and see what I can find. You did the 2015 one. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Top 10 Jersey Devil sightings.
Hey, I found a couple.
All right, go ahead.
October 2024 sighting. A witness claims to have encountered a winged creature with glowing eyes and a piercing scream near Leeds Point, which is where Mother Leeds birthed the baby. This location is historically tied to the original myth of the Jersey Devil, said to have been born to Mother Leeds in 1735. While sightings have become far less frequent, they continue to surface. The creature is consistently described as having hooves, wings, and a goat-like head and a chilling scream. These features echo the infamous 1909 Reign of Terror, when hundreds of residents across New Jersey and Pennsylvania reported encounters. Despite skepticism, the legend remains deeply embedded in the New Jersey folklore. Locals and tourists still explore the Pine Barrens, hoping to glimpse the beast, and it's celebrated in festivals, merchandise, and media.
This one would have been a good one, but it won't pull up. It's supposed to be clocking the Jersey Devil sightings by year, but it's not pulling up. So,
well, I've got a couple in 2025 as well, because that one I just talked about was October 2024. This one says in April of 2025, in New Jersey Pine Barrens, a feature on the NJ radar detailed ongoing reports of eerie screams, hoof prints, and winged figures in the woods. Locals near Batstow Village and Leeds Point claim to hear inhuman cries and are continually finding claw marks on trees. One camper reported seeing a goat-headed silhouette with wings vanish into the fog. And in October, which was just last month, October 2025, in Bristol, Pennsylvania, just across the Delaware River, though technically across the river from New Jersey, a local retrospective revisited the infamous 1909 sightings and noted that some residents reported strange screeches and winged shadows near the waterfront this year. While the article focused on the history, it hinted at a few modern-day parallels that still stir local curiosity.
Well, like I said, what I read said there was no confirmed sightings. I don't know what they consider confirmed versus not confirmed. I don't know how you confirm a sighting of something. It's a cryptid.
Yeah, you can't really confirm it, but yeah, I know what you mean. Whether it's just somebody said I heard from a friend of a friend, or I took this report from this guy.
Yeah,
I think that's a little more, less hearsay and more confirmed. Hey, what do I know? Looking to see if I've had any others. Sorry, I was just doing some digging.
But I think this is one that's kind of, almost like the Mothman. You don't really you can't really classify it a cryptid, even though some people do classify it as a cryptid. It's more supernatural.
Yeah, especially with the references to the devil.
Yeah.
This one's called A Screech in the Silence. Another witness recounted a chilling moment. It was so quiet, then it hit me. An unnatural screech coming from nowhere. It was fishing on the Mullica River, a hot spot for Jersey Devil lore. The sound was described as being as a mix between a woman's scream and a hawk's cry. That almost sounds more like a Bigfoot call.
Yeah.
That was this year from a fisherman along the Mullica River.
That's where I was going with that is, you know, if you really think about it, tell me one other professional sports team that has a supernatural or cryptid name to it. I mean, if there is one, I don't know about it. The Jersey Devil, the New Jersey
I tell you, the Canadians need to step up. We need a Saskatchewan Sasquatches.
that would be perfect. But
It could be a basketball team because they're all real tall.
yeah, but that, I mean, there's no other major or pro sports team I know of that has a cryptid or supernatural being as their mascot.
Right. I think that should happen. There should be more of them like that. That'd be kind of cool.
I don't know if they meant when they were talking about the giants. I don't know if they're not specifically saying giant ape-like creatures, just giants. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't class.
Yep. Northwoods, the Seattle Kraken. Yeah, that's kind of a mythical creature.
That's recent though.
That is true.
That's only I'm talking about like until recently. I guess I should have said then because the Jersey Devils have been around for how long have they been in the league? I know they've been in the league.
It's been a while.
I know they were in the league back when I was in junior high because I had that poster of Alyssa Milano. She's got because she was from New Jersey and she's sitting there with that New Jersey Devils jersey on. It's got the hockey stick, and that was when I was in junior high. So that's a long time.
That has been a minute for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
Longer for me than you, but not by a whole lot.
I mean, it's still the same amount of time. I was just younger.
So, what do you think is to you? What do you think is the most convincing part of a Jersey Devil lore?
Most convincing part. Well, I mean, I to me, there's so many concise. Even though there's a little bit of different description about what it looks like, a lot of the behaviors, the things that people see, what they hear, the wings, the flight, all that stuff is just really consistent to me. And it seems like, when you start looking at when people describe their dogman sightings, every dogman, and it may just be because there's, so many different types with different type heads, but, you look at all the different, some of them are on 4 legs, some of them are on 2, some of them have a head of wool, some of them have a head of this kind of dog, some of them have a head of that kind of dog, some of them have red eyes, some of them have amber eyes, some of them have green eyes. Same thing with Bigfoot, 8 feet tall, 10 feet tall, 12 feet tall, 6 feet tall, brown fur, red fur, black fur, gray fur. Some of them stink like and smell like this. Some of them, there's just so many different descriptions when you start looking at that. To me, it just seems like it's a lot more compact and a lot more concise with the Jersey Devil.
Well, I think there's got to be an origin besides what the Leeds version, Mrs. Leeds gave birth to it, because that would indicate there's just one. I think there's got to be more than one.
Unless it is supernatural, and
in which case, that all goes out the window.
Yeah. Which is entirely possible.
Yeah. Yeah, because in some versions of the lead story, she was a witch. Sometimes her husband was the devil himself.
Yep.
There's a lot of versions of that story. They all share certain similarities, but there's a lot of different twists to them
But
too.
if it is supernatural, that would lend more to why the sightings are so concise and so similar. And conversely, if our theories about Bigfoot and Dogman are true, that there are multiple species, that would be why you get so many different descriptions.
Yeah, it would make sense too. I mean, one of the examples we've used many times is how, there's 26 or 28 subspecies of just black bear.
Yep. So,
Each one of them have different characteristics.
I think this really possibly could be something supernatural that is just attached to that forest.
Well, it's not unheard of. I think there's something supernatural attached to Moon Valley.
I think there's something supernatural attached to LBL. While I do think there are other real creatures in there too, I do think there's something supernatural attached to that. Because you just get that.
LBL just feels wrong.
Yeah.
When you're in there, it just doesn't feel.
But
it just doesn't feel right.
But so does Moon Valley, like you said.
Yeah.
So I think that just kind of full circle comes around to what we've kind of been saying the whole time. And
some places are just bad.
Yeah. But it leads to some of the stuff that we've been kind of, I don't want to say pioneering, but I mean, I think we were the first to talk about a good many of these things. I think that kind of proves it. When you start breaking it down, especially from our standpoint of a investigational type background, you start looking at it and looking at all the similarities of all these sightings and all these things. I mean, there's just so many. Is it mass hallucination? Probably not, especially when you stretch them out over all the years that this has been going on. I don't think somebody in 2025 had the same hallucination that Napoleon Bonaparte's brother had in 1825 or whatever it was.
Yeah, exactly. And for the descriptions to remain that consistent.
Yep.
I mean, to me, that in and of itself is it points to the credibility of the legend. Maybe it is just one creature.
Yeah, I mean, but what did Wes tell you about Moon Valley? Some, like you said, some places.
He said once that kind of evil stains a place, that you just about can't fix it. I mean, he said once that kind of darkness takes hold of a place, it's going to be forever tainted unless and somebody with the strength to do it can go in and cleanse the place. And he said some place like Moon Valley would take, because especially as big as it is, he said it would just be practically impossible because of the size.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think if it is supernatural, that explains why you wouldn't have to worry about a breeding population if it's just one thing that's attached itself to that area that's been there forever.
Well, and even if here's the thing, if it was just one creature, that's 1 million acres is a lot of place for one thing to hide.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could search a lifetime and not find it.
Yep. And if it's got certain places, like they said, this Mullica River that it likes to frequent, I don't want to use the word haunt, but I mean, whatever works, right? I mean,
exactly. It is apropos. I mean, it may not be a ghost, but it's still appropriate. Yeah. Dorothy Wade says, "Where did the Jersey Devil find a mate?" And Boondock says, "Tinder."
well,
that's funny.
It wouldn't have to worry about finding a mate if it is supernatural.
Here's a thought. Do you think that there's any connection between the Jersey Devil and Mothman?
I mean, it could be. I mean, they both have supernatural legends and lore about them. So, I mean, it's very possible. I've always said that, if you really start looking at a lot of the descriptions of the Mothman, that people say, you kind of describing what some writers have written vampires to be like.
That's true.
Winged, dark figures with red glowing eyes. I mean, look at Stoker's description of Dracula.
Yeah. And one thing that always surprised me about Stoker is that, I know Jonathan Mayberry kind of addressed it, but it still kind of makes me scratch my head. I mean, why would he go to the trouble of having to do all of that research and travel to Romania to do some of this research when they got the legend of Abertach right there in Ireland?
Well, I'm glad it didn't, but I get what you're saying.
I mean, there's the Irish vampire lore right there in Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ask me, Abertach is the creepier of the two.
Yeah, he's a pretty bad dude. He went toe to toe with King Arthur. May still do it again. I don't think they got that fight settled.
No, we've got a ways to go before all those fights are settled. But that's a whole other story.
Yeah, it is.
But speaking of those stories, when should viewers expect your next book?
Well, Grail Avalon Rising is done. I've just given Dark Frontiers, Devil Apteroka's time to be out because there's things that they need to read in that book before they read Avalon Rising. So probably end of November, 1st of December, it'll be coming out. So, but it's done. It's ready to go. I mean, literally all it would take is for Luca to send me the
final artwork,
and the final edit for the print version, because the ebook is uploaded. The picture for the ebook is uploaded. I'm just waiting for those last two things, and it's categories are already out. It's ready to go, literally, without just needing those two things. So,
hell yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And hopefully before Christmas, I'll have Codename Wild Hunt Leviathan down. Hopefully, I'll have it done before Christmas. That's the plan, anyway.
And then on the heels of Leviathan down will be Shadowhunters Project Manticore.
Yep, we've got plenty of books scheduled to come out for y'all. PW says maybe Bram's mother-in-law lived with him and he wanted to get away to Romania.
Also a valid point.
A very valid point.
Maybe Bram's mother-in-law was Mother Leeds.
Thank you, Miss Lene. I will do my best. I was going to say something else about the Jersey Devil. Now it's completely slipped my mind. Back to what we were saying about Tom Brown Jr. Those of you folks who don't know who Tom Brown Jr. is, he's probably one of the best. Well, I don't even know if he's still alive. If he is, he's old.
I think. Let me check. I think he died, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
He was one of the best trackers. He taught tracking and tracked for law enforcement agencies, including the FBI, all over the world. I mean, he was one of the most preeminent trackers of our time, and he was just.
He died last year.
That's sad.
August 16th, of 2024.
That's too bad. He's got multiple books out on tracking and on, there's on survival. I'm going to look up
Okay, let's see.
He's got books on Native American path to inner peace called Awakening Spirits. He's got a couple of field guides on wild edible and medicinal plants, on wilderness survival. He's got a couple of stories out about like his grandfather. He's also wrote several books on tracking, the way of the scout. He's just absolutely a brilliant dude, and he's one of those people that I would love to have been able to spend time and get to know. But I've read a number of his books, and they are fantastic.
Yeah. The guy who trained me in tracking, Larry Wilkerson, uh, actually trained under Tom Brown Jr. So a lot of times, uh, tracking methods and the way he tracks is what what I learned. Which I wish I'd got to meet him, but I consider myself fortunate that at least I'm able to carry on.
You learned from his legacy. Yeah, and if you want some very fascinating reads on not only tracking techniques but survival situations and basically just having a unstoppable mindset, read any of his books. They are fantastic.
Yeah, he was a great guy.
I would love to have been able to pick his brain about not only the Jersey Devil but about Bigfoot. As a dude tracked in the backcountry all across the planet. I mean, he's been everywhere.
And with the ties to the Native American culture that he had, that's why I think he probably believed it.
He was part Native American, wasn't
he? I believe so. I believe it was on his mother's side, I think. But even Larry, the guy who taught me, he went and taught on the I want to say it was on one of the Navajo reservations, and he said that which he said he felt stupid going and teaching tracking to them because he felt like even their novice trackers probably knew more, but he was teaching them a different style of tracking than what they were. But he said it was so surreal. He said because you could be teaching them and talking to them, and you would think that they weren't even listening to you, but they could just completely regurgitate everything he would say to them, even when he thought they weren't even looking at him or paying attention to him. But it's just they're so practical in the way they do things and the things that they believe, and that's why I think it's just so because you talk to any Native American about this, and it's like talking to us about the next door neighbor's dog. It's just a fact of life. Yeah, over there. Saw it 2 days ago.
Apparently, his grandfather's name was Stalking Wolf, and he was Lepon Apache. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry, Robbie.
Yeah, I was finished. I was just saying, it's just their mindset and their, because you have relatives who are Native American just like I do, and it's just, matter of fact, they don't look at things the way we do. Oh well, you need to prove it to me. They just accept it because that's just the way.
Just part of the natural world to them.
It's the way it is.
Yeah, I've got to get some more of it. Actually, I don't think I own any of his books. I think all the ones I've read I checked out from the library. So I need to get as many of his books as I can get.
That's the one I read right before I went and took my class.
Good book. I think that's one of the ones I read.
Really good book. I need to read it again because when I read it, it was before I went to the class. So
probably make more sense now.
Yeah, I didn't understand most of what I mean, I watched a bunch of YouTube videos and read that book and didn't understand it, but it would probably make 10 times more sense now, or 100 times more sense now. But getting back to the Jersey Devil, like we was talking about, I think that there's probably, and that's another reason I think Tom Brown would probably have been somebody who he would probably know what was going on, and knowing him, or how he, not knowing him, but knowing how he would think about things. I bet he would probably keep people out of those areas just because of the simple fact that he's like, yeah, this is probably not an area that I need to take a bunch of people that don't know what they're doing.
It's not the kind of place you want to take somebody that's not ready for it.
Right. But I bet you there's been plenty of times he was up there by himself or with people he knew.
Well, you know, he had to spend a lot of time in the backcountry.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I would love to get like Les Stroud on the show. I would love to be able to get him on and interview him.
I'd love to be able to just do the stuff he does. Just go out for a couple weeks at a time and just stay out there.
That'd be freaking amazing. Just shoot video while you're out there and come back, talk about it. Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. I'd love to be able to do that. Poncho says, "Hey everyone, hanging out at base camp. Didn't hunt this AM, but went out into the woods. There's a lot of deer on my property. If anyone needs a place to hunt near Frederickstown, Missouri, let me know. I'll keep that in mind, man. I've got a couple places I hunt up near Richland. I haven't been up there this year yet, though. All right, thanks, Boondock. Boondock, what's this an image of? Trying to open it. Is this the Jersey Devil, Boondock? Because I got one image. Oh, it's a winged gremlin. Okay. Huh.
So it's the one Mr. Futterman put the concrete over. He turned into a statue on top of the building.
Let me see if I can share these. I'm not entirely sure I know what that is. I mean, it's, it's interesting, but I can't really see a whole lot of details. I was looking at the other ones. I don't think there's a whole lot of difference. Yeah, those are interesting images, but they're definitely bizarre. Toshi, I don't know. It says it's a gremlin, but it's really hard to tell. It's not. It's just they're very very grainy images. Very hard to see exactly any kind of detail on them.
Charlie, no, Jeepers Creepers. It was about a demon, but I don't think it was the Jersey Devil. It was called the Creeper, and every 23rd year, it awoke for 23 days to feed on humans. It may have had some creative inspiration from the Jersey Devil, but
Maybe.
it wasn't based on the Jersey Devil.
So do you think you'll ever use the Jersey Devil in a book?
I kind of was thinking about that when we started talking about this for the show topic. I was like, you know what? We haven't used that yet. There's plenty of room for stories there.
There is. I'm not sure it's a story I want to tell, but if you would like to take a shot at it, go for it.
That might be something good for the Shadow Walkers to get back into.
Could be. Very well could be. People start going missing in the Pine Barrens, and they go up to take a look.
Mm-hmm.
And considering the location, you've also got the potentiality for a Mothman story.
Yeah. I mean, we've got a title for the Shadow Walkers book, but we never really come up with a plot for it yet. So maybe that's a plot for it.
Well, Boondock, you did a pretty good job cleaning it up, but unfortunately, it's still very, very difficult to see anything other than just the shapes. So cool images. It's a good capture, but that's one of those that we've just kind of got to look at it and go, yeah, I can kind of see this and I can kind of see that. Unfortunately, it's the same way with a lot of Bigfoot images that just aren't all that clear. Toshi says, who would win in a fight between Mothman and the Jersey Devil? I don't know. Can't imagine why they'd fight, but I don't know. I've never heard stories of the Mothman mutilating cattle, but the Jersey Devil has. So I would say the Jersey Devil's probably got the edge on being more dangerous. Miss Lene says she hears your cat.
Yeah, she come up to sharpen her claws on my chair. Knucklehead. But yeah, and we've talked about that before too. The Mothman seems to be maybe more of a benevolent type creature, because it seems like it only appears like right before something bad's about to happen.
It's kind of a death omen, I think.
Yeah, but there's been people that said that it scared them, but I can't think of an actual account where it's actually attacked anybody. And there's been plenty of accounts.
Well, one of the original encounters with the Mothman, they said it left claw marks on their car, on the trunk.
But that's also one of the ones that I think they were describing something that looked more like a vampire.
Well, there's a lot of people that think the Mothman is a sandhill crane because of the crane, standing so tall and has those red patches around its eyes. But to me, that doesn't make sense. I mean, sandhill crane wouldn't keep up with a car at 70 miles an hour.
No, and I think that's like the hammerhead bat theory that we're talking about. That's just people looking for something in the area that the black bear Bigfoot, the grizzly Bigfoot, it's just people who are looking for something that they can see, it's this. It's that crane, because that crane stands up so tall and it's got that big wingspan. There's the red patches. That's it. And it doesn't explain everything, but they want to hang their hat on that.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that either the hammerhead bat or the sandhill crane explain either of them. It's just a convenient scapegoat.
Like I said, I'm almost positive that some of the sightings that people have had of the devil or the Mothman have probably been one of those animals. Just like I'm sure some sightings that people say they've had a Bigfoot may have been a black bear or a grizzly or a wolf. Because you can't think that every single one of the sightings was that.
Yeah, there's going to be some misidentifications.
But also on the same token, not every single one of these sightings are misidentified black bears, sandhill cranes, hammerhead. But it's just too way out of proportion to believe that every single one of these people that are having those sightings are seeing these natural creatures that just happen to kind of resemble.
I've got a cousin that said he saw a bear walk across a road in the Mark Twain on its hind legs, then walk down into the ditch and out the other side. And he said the ditch was steep on both sides. Says it never left two legs. I said, bears don't do that. He goes, yeah, it had to have been a bear.
Yeah, like we've always said, look into nature. I mean, yeah, do we see bears walk on two legs for a very short distance? Yeah, but it's not like they run. They more or less waddle, shuffle, however you want to call it. I mean,
yeah, they're not built for walking on their hind legs.
no.
Rich Knozer.
Yeah.
Rich says Pine Barrens are also known as mafia burial grounds for New York and Philly mobs. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
No, I read that and looking into my research. Supposedly there's a lot of people that got disappeared by the mob that they're now permanent residents of the Barrens, which could be a reason that something like that has attached itself and kept or stayed there. Rather, maybe not the reason it attached itself, but maybe the reason that it stays there. Because like you said, that Wes said, once some evil has stained that area, and if they were using that to bury innocent people that they murdered, I mean, maybe not all of them were innocent, but I'm sure some of them were. You know,
yeah, but I'm reasonably sure the mob wasn't whacking people in the 1700s, though.
No, I said that's maybe why it's stayed there.
Yeah, it certainly didn't do wonders for the area. I mean, you can get similar feelings, that kind of dread feeling around old Civil War battlefields where the ground has literally been soaked in blood.
Yeah, and there could have been some battles around the Revolutionary War, Civil War, all that around the Pine Barrens too that add to it. Just Chickamauga with old Green Eyes. I mean, that's why it stayed there. Supposedly,
yeah, there's a lot of weird history like that. That areas that just seem to contain a darkness about them. There are places that I've gone out in the woods where this place just don't feel right, and we generally leave. But you can find those places even today, or if you live in a city, you take the wrong right at the wrong stoplight, you find yourself in an area. You're like, you know what? I really don't need to be here. So it doesn't necessarily confine itself to the deep woods. You can get those eerie feelings that something's wrong just about anywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
Paul Webb says there's a black bear in West Virginia that is malformed and has no front legs. Kurt Price chased it with his hounds on YouTube. Yeah, there are exceptions to the rule, but I don't think there's bears that have no front legs running around every forest in North America. But yeah, there are some exceptions to the rule. There are bears that can walk extended periods upright. They just don't normally do it. So it's not enough of a factor to say it explains everything across the face of North America.
That would be you'd say that's the exception, not the rule. The rule is that they walk for short distances on their, because I've seen a dog on YouTube that doesn't have front legs. That its owners have trained it to walk on its hind legs, but not all dogs do that. It's not a natural thing for them to do. They can do it, but they don't naturally do it. They have to be. That there's has to be a reason, and it has to be, like something they're malformed and don't have front legs, or they got an injured front leg and can't walk on it properly. But it's the exception, not the rule.
Yeah, that's a very valid point. It is the exception, not the rule. Someone asked about if there are Native American legends in the Pine Barrens. These are some of the ones that I came up with quickly. what they call the Lenape spirit beings. The Lenape people, original inhabitants of southern New Jersey, believed that the Pine Barrens were inhabited by powerful manitous, powerful spirits that lived in the trees, rivers, and animals. These beings could guide, protect, or punish depending on the human behavior and the respect for nature. Of course, there's also tribal lore of the Thunderbird in the area. There's indigenous legends of water spirits and seasonal guardians, and my least favorite of all the cryptids, puckwudgies. I hate those things. They creep me out.
That's going to be our luck. Me and you are going to be out in the woods, and we're going to run into a mantis man with a group of puckwudgies.
Mantis man being ridden by 6 puckwudgies. They're like freaking Ewoks, man. They just creep me out.
And they're going to be bobsledding behind a Wendigo on a snowmobile.
Yeah.
Then me, you, and Doc gonna look at each other and say,
Yep, time to go.
Would you look at the time?
It said some of the tribes that still have people that live in the Pine Barrens area suggest that the Jersey Devil is nothing more than a retelling of some of their native spirit tales.
And it could very well be. There's, but that doesn't.
They said that they believe that the Jersey Devil is a corrupted echo of a Lenape guardian spirit twisted by colonial guilt and ecological disruption. But yeah, I hate puckwudgies. They creep me out. Rich Knauser says the Lenape were native here. Apparently, they were in the Pine Barrens at one time. So, are there other cryptids in there? Have there been Bigfoot sightings in the Pine Barrens?
Yes, there's been Bigfoot and Dogman sightings in the Pine Barrens. Let me see if I can pull a couple of them up right quick.
Actually, there's some from right here in 2025. In 2025 alone, New Jersey has recorded 79 believed to be credible Bigfoot sightings, all within Burlington County in the Pine Barrens. Burlington accounts for 16 of the reports, but 79 reports of what they believe credible Bigfoot reports in the Pine Barrens.
2018 sighting, a couple reported seeing a tall, light-colored ape-like creature leap across the road near Brown Mills, New Jersey. 2014 sighting, a hiker claimed to have seen a family of Bigfoot in the Pine Barrens and took a photo of some of them. 1990 sighting, a woman recalled an experience in 1990 where she felt like she was being watched and saw a face in a window. I'm assuming it was one of the many houses around there.
Probably.
93-94 sighting, a driver reported seeing a reddish-brown Bigfoot cross the road in front of his car while he was driving near Georgian Court. So, yeah, there's multiple Bigfoot sightings in that area.
Nice.
And let's see.
There's another Bigfoot one from, I think it's 2021. Belle Plaine State Forest, a family camping near Lake Nummi. Nummi? That's a stupid name for a lake. Reported heavy footsteps circling their tent after midnight. The father saw a large, haunched figure, watching them silently from the trees before it walked off on 2 legs.
There's apparently the Dogman or the Wolfman of Manchester, New Jersey.
Interesting.
Can we read a little bit of it?
Oh, absolutely.
This just says it's part 1. So before I start the story, it's from the perspective of my friend Harold, and for the sake of anonymity, I will keep details as vague as possible, along with without using a real name. So Harold is not his real name. I believe that I saw a cryptid that most people would would have known as a dog man or a wolf man of the sort in the New Jersey Pine Barrens. A little bit about me. When I received my license at 17, I started spending all my free time outdoors, hiking all over the East Coast, but mostly within the New Jersey Pine Barrens since I lived in New Jersey. I just graduated Stockton University with a bachelor's degree in environmental science and an environmental science degree, and I worked as a naturalist at Bastow Village in Wharton State Forest, which is the biggest state forest in the New Jersey Pine Barrens. I got the job before my internship ended due to my knowledge of plants and animals. They did not expect me to have the credentials because at the time I was not even finished with my first semester in college. I only give this information because when I see an animal in the woods, day or night, I know with 100% certainty what I'm looking at. And after almost 6 years from the time of writing this story, I can't wrap my head around the creature that I saw. I'm an open-minded person to a point, and I do believe certain cryptids can exist solely if the biology for the creature is possible. But that does not put a bipedal canine on my list. Roughly about 6 years ago, I, along with two of my friends, one a welder and one a mechanic, and I will name the welder Chris and the mechanic Alan, went off-roading in my friend Alan's truck somewhere in the Manchester, New Jersey area. We met with a bunch of Alan's off-roading buddies in a spot they frequented. I don't know the specific area, only that it was in Manchester, New Jersey, and it was very close to the general vicinity of the abandoned brick factory, which I've heard a lot of stories about that brick factory.
Mm-hmm.
We hung out.
We've got a guy in the chat named Swamp Dog. I'm trying to find his comment. Said he shot a dog man in 2024 and has had Bigfoot encounters since 1989 in southern New Jersey. I'd like to hear about those. However, we're not going to have time tonight. We are rapidly running out of time.
Yeah. Let me see if I can get to the nitty gritty of this then. He was driving about 35 miles an hour on a dirt path, which is pretty open, about 30-ish feet wide, and we were dead in the middle in case he didn't have time to respond to a deer jumping out in the tree line. A few minutes go by, and my sharp eyes spot a deer running along the side of the truck, but within the tree line, so the view of him wasn't more than a dark brown patch of fur. As I'm about to say something to my friend Alan, thinking that this deer is going to run out in front of the car and try to commit suicide, it speeds up its pace significantly and gets about 20 feet ahead of the truck, still in the tree line, and then proceeds to jump out in front of the truck. For as long as I will live, I will never forget what I saw that night. It ran onto its two back legs and looked up at us. And to our horror, it ran by this about 30-foot wide dirt road in 2 to 3 steps and went to the opposite tree line. In those few seconds, I saw this dog man or wolf man, and to this day, I can't forget what I saw. Okay, so he looked to the side, and what he thought was a deer running beside the truck that was going to turn and run in front of him. All of a sudden, it picked up its pace and outpaced the truck, outran him, got about 30 feet in front of him, and stood up on 2 legs and ran across the road in front of him. And it crossed the road in about 2 to 3 steps. It was roughly 7 feet tall, guesstimating its height using my friend Alan's lifted truck as reference. Covered in dark brown fur, every inch of its body I saw was covered in this dark brown fur, but the chest and stomach area had less fur and a lighter color than the rest. But even under all this fur, you can make out extreme muscle definition, very similar to an Olympic bodybuilder. It also had a canine-type head with a long snout and 2 distinct perked-up wolf ears and large muscular legs. The torso and the arms were similar to that of a very muscular man with large hands. The hands had visible claws that looked like they could do some real damage, and its eyes reflected an unnatural color in the light that I haven't seen in an animal or haven't seen in the animal kingdom. As soon as it jumped into the opposing tree line, my friend Alan slammed on the brakes, and my friend Chris said, "I know I'm high, but what the actual was that?" My friend's puzzled by what we had just saw. Look at me and go, "Okay, nature boy, please tell us." I guess he's Ric Flair.
Woo!
Woo! Please tell us that was something explainable. I sat there dumbfounded and told them I didn't have an answer based in reason or science or anything I could logically think of. And my friend Alan hightailed it out of there. To this day, my friend Chris has convinced himself that it was a hallucination because of the pot he and my other friend Alan, why they don't believe in supernatural and absolutely refuse to have an open mind, does not speak about this event to this day and pretends it didn't happen. To this day, I still have no logical explanation for what I saw. I do not believe that a bipedal canine creature could biologically exist, but what I saw was something matching that description with my own eyes, and it was very real.
That's a pretty interesting story. I was looking up some of the information on Swamp Dog's encounters. I would like to chat with him once we're off the air, and see about maybe interviewing him for the show. So, if he's got that many encounters in the Jersey area, that'd be a great one to have on. So I'll look into doing that here in the next day or two. But we are at the point where we got to start winding her down. We've got the outro and everything still to go. But at the end of the show, there's always a few things we like to take care of. First off, I want to mention all of our affiliates. Don't forget the good folks over at Dark Angel Medical. Check them out for all your HSA and FSA needs, as well as any med kits, all the way up from basic first aid all the way through full-on trauma kits. Check out Dark Angel Medical and use discount code cryptid20 for 20% off your order. Check out the good folks over at Scallywag Tactical. They make some of the best knives in the business. They're fantastic. They make great blades from everything from just pocket knives all the way up to full-on camp knives and survival gear. Check out scallywagtactical.com and use discount code DARoberts10 for 10% off your order. And check out the good folks over at sigwoarms.com. If you're a fan of the Wild Hunt books, they're the only folks that have the license to make Wild Hunt upper and lower receivers or to use the Wild Hunt logos on any of their firearms. Check them out. They have great deals on firearms as well as Freedom Seeds, the ammunition for those of you who aren't in the know, and Whisper Pickles, also known as suppressors. Check them out for all your needs, and they're a fantastic company. And every one of our affiliates are military, veteran-owned companies, and we're happy to support these companies because they are veteran-owned, and we're proud to support our veterans and first responders. When you contact sigwoarms.com, use discount code BIGFOOT5 for 5% off your order, and that does stack up pretty fast. However, if you're a veteran or a first responder, that discount expands to 10%. So check them out. Check out sigwoarms.com. Tell the Codys we sent you, because there's two guys named Cody that run the place. And for those of you who don't know, Sigwo is actually a tribute to the owner's military service. He was a warrant officer in Signals. Sigwo. SIG-WO, Signals Warrant Officer. That's what SIGWO stands for. So check out all of our folks. Like I said, we're very proud to support our veterans and first responder-owned businesses. And that brings us to the 22 a Day Foundation. We lose 22 veterans a day to suicide, and that is 22 too many. The toll that's taken on our men and women in uniform, be they first responders, veterans, active duty, reserves, whatever capacity, National Guard, whatever they served, the toll that's taken on these men and women is high, and they deserve our respect and they deserve our support. So reach out to your friends and family that have served or still serving in whatever capacity, whatever branch, whether first responder, whatever they did. If they've put on a uniform and risked their ass for us, risk their ass and risk their lives for us, then they deserve our support. They deserve our understanding, because some of the things these folks have to deal with, and I can tell you from my time in uniform, and Robbie can tell you, we see and deal with things on a daily basis that the human mind just ain't meant to comprehend, and it does take its toll on folks. PTSD is a is a horrible, horrible demon to have to deal with, and you don't have to face that demon alone, folks. There'll be contact numbers at the end of the show where you can see to reach out via text or by email or even by phone. Please use those numbers. Reach out if you need help, and folks, reach out to the people who've served. Let them know you think about them. Let them know you care, because sometimes that "Hey, are you okay?" text is what keeps somebody off the edge that day. And let's get 22 a day down to 0 where it belongs. And winding things down, I'm going to turn this over to Robbie. He can talk about everybody's books here for a minute, and then we're going to end her with a toast. So, Robbie, you want to tell us a little bit about everybody's books? Mine, yours, and Luca's, and then we'll take. I'll let you take it out with the toast.
So, folks, check out DA's books, my books, and our partner in crime, Luca Jacobs. Luca does mine and DA's covers. Does a really good job on those. So if you like mine and DA's book, go check hers out. Check DA's books out. Devil the Absaroka's, the New Dark Frontiers book is out. #1 in Western horror.
Western horror.
And number 13 in just Western. He's
just Westerns in general.
He's on the heels of some really big competition, or not competition, but some really big time writers. Go check that out. Thank you for making his book #1 in the category it's in. Also, go check my books out on Amazon. Kodiak, like he said, has just reached #1 in hunting and fishing. So thank you. I finally got a #1 book under my. I didn't expect it to be Kodiak, but hey, I'll take what I take. So, like you said, the end of the show. Raise a glass. Doesn't matter what it is. This is for those who have gone on, and we'll see them again sometime. So raise your glass. Read along with us. It goes like this from the parting glass. And since it fell into my lot that I should rise and you should not, I'll gently rise and softly call. Good night and joy be to you all. Good night. Thanks for 10K. We'll see you Wednesday night. Or actually, we'll see you Monday night for Monday Night Mayhem, but then we'll see you Wednesday night here on NX again. Sanjava. Good night.
Slunjava, and a big shout out and thank you to all the mods. Good night, everybody. See you on Monday night.
Plains, the winds are howling, saloon doors swinging, shadows growling. 3 lawmen stand tough as rawhide. Yeah, Doc and DA, nothing can abide. Whiskey shots and poker faces, staring down the darkest spaces in this town where legends roam. These boys bring justice, sending evil home. Cryptid lawmen, wild and free, hunting monsters for all to see. With silver bullets and grit of steel, they fight the darkness, make the demons squeal. From dusty canyons to moonlit plains, justice rides with wind and rains. Cryptid lawmen, a fearsome sight, standing tall against the endless night. Jed's a howler, claws of steel, Doc's a biter, makes the devil real. But DA's a shifty one, a shape-shifting soul, can turn to anything, takes any form, takes control. Tonight the chupacabras come to town, sucking the life from all around. But these lawmen, they ain't afraid, they'll face the darkness unafraid. Cryptid lawmen, wild and free, hunting monsters for all to see. With silver bullets and grit of steel, they fight the darkness, make the demons squeal. From dusty canyons to moonlit plains, justice rides with wind and range. Cryptid lawmen, a fearsome sight, standing tall against the endless night. rise, bat wings flap. The air grows cold, a chilling trap. But these lawmen, they're ready to fight underneath the pale moonlight. Jed and Doc transform with a howl. DA shifts, becomes a night owl.